everyone, how are we today? Just doing a quick all signs reading today, checking in on career and money for you. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I do really appreciate all those subscribes, all those comments. Let me know if there's any specific topics that you would like me to do readings on. Definitely would love to take that on board for you. Like, share the channel to your friends that might be interested in readings for themselves. All my details in the description box, including the timestamps for each individual sign. Okay, we will be starting today with Aries and moving our way on through. We are using the Money Moves Oracle deck. And I have today the Mirror Truth Lenormand. Okay, so this is a kind of brand new deck for me to be using. So see how it goes with career and money. All right, like I said, timestamps in the description box. Starting us off, we have our Aries. Okay, Aries. What does Aries need to know in regards to career and money? Money. Job, career, finances for our Aries. Direction. Okay, we see the open book there. Do not deviate from your path. Attract a mentor if necessary. Plan ahead where you want to be. All right, so this is like writing your own chapter, Aries, that the next chapter of your financial self, your career, you're kind of having to plan exactly where you're wanting to be and, plan accordingly. So for a lot of you, this is, sticking it out on the path that you're already on, but rising within that path. May need to attract a mentor, someone to offer you guidance. For some of you, that may go the other way as well. You may be offering guidance, direction, mentorship to somebody else around you as well, and that is actually, part of your learning process here, because every time we do teach, we learn, regardless of, whether we think we do or not. It's one of those kind of things, they do go hand in hand. But it's really sort of talking about, that the next chapter is kind of just a continuation of the same book here, Aries. Aries, money and career for Aries. What does Aries need to know about money and career, please? So we have the crossroad coming through first. So we see a reference to that path again. And that card did specifically say, do not deviate from your path. All right. So there might be some choices coming up for you with career finances. And it's kind of telling you to stick it out on the path that you're on. Make the choice that is in line with the direction that you're already heading. Especially here too, with these two cards coming through. Next, we have the snake, followed by the fox. Look at that, the snake card there and the fox. Okay, so it's kind of like you may need to wear a bit of a mask at the moment, create an illusion for yourself in regards to staying on this path, because it's kind of talking about, if you deviate from the path, that's where you're kind of betraying your truth and your true potential with the direction you're going with your career and money. I do feel for most of you, this is career specific rather than money. There may be the need to be very independent, self-sufficient, do what you need to do for yourself. Yes, making sure you're wearing that sort of professional mask, but also letting us know here that deviating from that path, it's like, if you're walking a path like a snake, they don't necessarily if they face an obstacle upon their path, they don't necessarily turn and walk another different way altogether. They find a crack through, they find a way through. They slither around and find, make their way through the obstacle that's in front of them, even if it seems impossible. So I do sort of feel here that this is just a representation of letting you know that the other path, the other option that you're offered that strays away from your path, it may be very tempting. It may be a very tempting choice, you know, that's wanting to make you stray here. But there is some sort of illusion attached to that, all right, that you know, if you're wanting to look out for yourself, that the clever choice is actually to stay on your path, because there may just be a little bit of underhandedness and deception with that other path, that it may look too good to be true. And you know, as we know, when something looks too good to be true, quite often it is. And so there's, you know, something else going on there under the surface that you know, wouldn't actually work out for you best in the long run here, Aries. So it is kind of just letting you know, stay on the path, and you know, plan where you want that path to take you, but to sort of stay on track where you are. Like I said, we do see that reference to mentorship as well, learning and teaching in amongst all of that. Okay, but you're more than welcome to check your other placements as well. Subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Taurus. Okay, Taurus, what does Taurus need to know in regards to money and career? Money, job, finances, what's going on for Taurus? Okay, Taurus, we do see the many choices card here coming through for you. Opportunities abound when you're in a dilemma. All roads lead to Rome. Look at all your options. All right, so it's kind of talking about, it doesn't really matter which choice you make here, you're going to achieve the desired result one way or another. All roads kind of lead to the same result here. Even though you do have a lot of opportunities, it does sort of say that abound when you are in a dilemma. So this may be like a bit overwhelming for you. All these choices, all these options might feel a little bit overwhelming, and you may sort of feel like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? But it's kind of like, you know, just make a choice and start moving in that direction. All roads will lead you to where you need to be. All right. So even if they seem vastly different, these options, they're all heading forwards one way or another. Okay. Taurus, money and career for Taurus, please. Especially with you, you know, coming up with a lot of choices and opportunities headed your way here. I'm not surprised to see the letter coming through first. All right, so it does sort of let us know that you may be signing new contracts and things like that in the immediate future with finances and career here. There's a lot of paperwork, basically, signing your name away, crossing all those T's, dotting all those I's, all that sort of stuff. It comes with a bit of a, you know, in clear communication. All right, about these choices that you're being offered. There is a lot of communication. I do feel as though that's communication in the form of paperwork. But we do see here the bear followed by the flowers. Okay, so the bear really does let us know that you do need to protect yourself and make sure you have got, you know, solid boundaries set around yourself when it comes to, you know, signing your life away here. That it's kind of just checking the fine print, I suppose, making sure there's no loopholes that are going to hurt you. And you do need to be a little bit on the defense when it comes to this paperwork to protect your best interests. Okay, and other than that, though, it's a very strong, confident energy that you're coming into this with a lot of strong strength and confidence, knowing that you've got a lot to give with the flowers here. You're able to offer a lot. You're giving a lot of yourself, and you're able to negotiate those boundaries with this contracting issues. So it just feels as though standing your ground when it comes to any contracting, you know, communication between yourself and taking opportunities at the moment, you know, and knowing that you've got a lot to give and that you want to make sure you're going to receive equal to what you're giving in those scenarios. Okay, Taurus, so pretty straightforward message for you. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Geminis. Gemini, what's going on for Gemini with money and career? Money and career for Gemini, please. Success. Dun, 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 dun. It felt worthy of the I'm getting the I don't know the tune, but it's the Mario. It's like when Mario catches the flag and at the end of the level and you won. Like Mario, and then I was seeing Mario Kart with the trophy, ceremony at the end there. Choosing the right direction and actively overcoming your difficulties. You're on the right track. All right, so you chose the right track in Mario Kart today, Gemini, and it's the one that you can be up there on the winners podium. So you're definitely moving in the right direction here. You are overcoming any difficulties that are being presented to you with work and money. You're definitely just moving in the right direction here, just in general, that success is closer than you maybe realize, and you are achieving that, kind of like even in the littlest things, you do seem to be achieving small successes is coming through here as well. Gemini, and I'm kind of getting like some sort of, I'm getting the phrase pomp and ceremony. So it's like recognition of some sort as well here, Gemini. Oh, actually, yeah, that actually reminds me too. My Gemini neighbor that I spend a lot of time with, he recently did get a company email sent out, cheering him on and cheering on all his hard work, and so he was talking to me about that, and so that's the exact sort of energy we're looking at here, that you are on the right track. Yeah, so you are sort of getting some sort of recognition for all the hard work you've been doing. So I dare say there might be a few of you in that sort of a boat where you are just, even if it seems really small, take the recognition, even if it's kind of, for some of you it might seem like this gilded mirror, like it's, oh, I don't know how I feel about this recognition, but it's, just take it for what it is. It's recognition. All right. Okay. It's kind of like putting you up on the mantle, Gemini, and and what I was actually talking to my neighbor about here, it's feeling very relevant to your situation, Gemini, is that because he is also a Gemini, so I know it's relevant to at least him, okay, but it's not that, it's not even about the recognition. It's about the fact that you're seeing your company or your boss or, people around you at the workplace that are actually, able to offer recognition, and that's something that a lot of people miss out on in the workplace. Yeah. And a lot of us would say things like, oh, if only I was recognized for all my hard work, I might have actually stuck it out a little bit longer, and those sorts of things. And there's just some stuff happening around you at the moment where it's like, even if you're uncomfortable taking the recognition, other people around you need to see that, just so that they know it's like that, yeah, wow, okay, so they will show recognition where recognition is due, and it may actually be the thing that somebody else needed to see as lead by example kind of thing here. So take it in your stride, Gemini. Gemini, money and career for our Geminis. It's funny, I started talking about the recognition and then realized, I know a Gemini who's just received recognition. That's very interesting. We have the garden coming through first. We also have the birds coming through here, followed by the coffin. Okay, so once again, I'm going to tie this into that same example, okay, that from my friend's life here, that, he had concerns that, all the fellow employees were, ribbing him a little bit and giving him a little bit of shit about it, that, oh, you're in the good books, that sort of thing, but that's coming to an end, and it actually really reinvigorates the workplace in some kind of a way, okay, because we do see, the social recognition here. It does start a bit of chatter, all right, it does start a bit of gossip, a bit of chatter, a bit of rumors, oh, Gemini's up the boss's bum, those sorts of things, but it's just a fun and games, it's a very fun social kind of, it's kind of a bonding experience in some kind of way. We do need to sometimes have those little, workplace, ribbing our friends in workplaces, but ultimately that does come to an end here, and it actually does, reinvigorate the workplace in some kind of a way here, with the coffin. That's things ending and then new beginnings coming from that. So even though you may have to go through this little bit of social chatter that you're having to walk through to get to this, then it does, when it does come to an end here, it does actually instigate this rebirth in the workplace kind of thing. So things it kind of feels just like cohesion. It's kind of team building kind of energy that's coming through here, that, everyone feels a little bit, able to joke around and have a bit of a joke with you, Gemini, about this. And then that, that dies off. And then it actually does, sort of reinvigorate everybody into this new kind of energy within the workplace where, we're a little bit more cohesive, and there's a little bit more, like fun in the environment as well, which, sometimes that makes the biggest difference in a workplace, right? Is, that cohesion with people that you're working with, and just that feeling of like, I'm actually enjoying my work right now. It can be rare. All right. So I feel like a lot of you are going through this little phase. It might be a little bit uncomfortable for you at first, but, once that dies off, then it does really actually reinstigate things into a fresh kind of energy for you here, Gemini. So, and it's all about that recognition and success that you're headed towards. All right. So it's all good. All good for you, Gemini. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to Cancer. Cancer, money and career for Cancer. What does Cancer need to know in regards to money and career? Job, work, finances. I'm in a sing-song mood today. Oh, money tree. That's probably why. We all like the money trees, right? When you were young, everyone said, oh, money doesn't grow on trees. This month it is for you, Cancer. Dreams come true. You will get what you have long desired. Enjoy your wealth. All right. And I feel like for a lot of you, it's open to interpretation. Yeah. I don't want to just sit here and say, oh, enjoy your wealth. You're going to be so rich. You're going to have so much money. Like, sometimes it doesn't play out that way. Even though we're doing a money reading here, this is wealth in your career, wealth in your finances. Even if it's not, huge amounts of figures being added to your bank account, there is still ways that you can feel wealthy and fulfilled, and start advancing towards those feelings within your career and finances without, the 20 figures in your bank account. Okay, so sometimes the small goals are what actually really start making the difference for us. Make the difference, between living week to week and then actually being able to have savings and things like that, or being able to just not even check your bank account before you go and get groceries. Like, for a lot of people, that would be the biggest difference, that all of a sudden you would feel wealthy, right? All of a sudden I can buy the brand name stuff. I don't have to, shop around and buy the cheapest thing I can find, right? So for a lot of us, that just those little things make us feel wealthy. For some reason here, Cancer, I'm getting that reference. It's like a meme, right? I've seen it as like a meme style thing, and it's a picture of that Viennetta ice creams. It's like a log ice cream with the wavy ice cream and chocolate layers. And it's something along the lines of like, when I was a kid, this was the epitome of rich. All right. This was what I thought everyone that was rich, that was what I thought rich was these Viennetta ice creams. It's just that difference of, between getting just the Zupa Dupas or, paddle pop. I don't want to niche down the ice creams, right? Because you guys probably all have different types of, what do you call them? Icy poles, ice blocks, whatever you call them in your country. We call them like Zupa Dupas, or we had Sunny Boys back in the day. That was an awesome one. And Billabongs or paddle pops are another big, common Australian one, that ice cream that we had when I was younger. I still have them, actually. I love paddle pops. They have rainbow ones that are caramel flavored. Amazing. Anyway, so it's kind of like the difference between those, the cheap ice blocks that, everyone, that was all that the family could afford to pay for all the kids, sort of thing, and having Viennetta ice cream for dessert, you know. And if your family could have Viennetta, oh, you must be rich. So it's kind of that. It's kind of talking about that kind of difference for you here, Cancer. That it's like you all of a sudden you're able to buy things that, oh, I thought only rich people could buy that, you know. But it's not. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're all of a sudden millionaires. I'm not going to mislead you like that. This is, you know, obviously a collective reading, and not everyone's going to win the lotto tomorrow, right? That would be misleading and unfair of me to do that. Cancer, what does Cancer need to know about money and career, please? It just like sort of takes some of your responsibilities off your shoulders a little bit, takes some of the burden off, right? We see the cross coming through here. So it's kind of like some of the burdens being lifted a little bit for you, and you're able to then, you know, invest and take chances elsewhere, you know, take a risk, and, you know, maybe, ooh, I can actually afford to, you know, risk to put money into this fund, or you know, take a chance and buy something new that I haven't been able to buy up until now. We have the clover there as well. So the clover really is good luck. It's definitely monetary good luck as well. Usually short term, you know, money is just going really good, and you just have this good luck where, oh, you just come into some extra money. It's the kind of thing where you find $10 down the back of the couch. You know, I would definitely see the clover popping up for that, but it does feel a little bit bigger than just $10, to be honest here, because with the cross here, it's lifting some of those burdens off your shoulders, and we're moving in a more positive direction when it comes to that, and to the point where some of you may actually be able to start traveling. I think some of you here probably have been, you know, wanting to travel and haven't been able to afford it, and this is where we're now actually able to start investing in travel. All right, so that might be something that you're taking a chance, taking a risk to, you know, put a down payment on that cruise, or you know, put some money aside to start saving up for a holiday, those sorts of things, for some travel that you've been wanting to do, those sorts of things. So definitely there. I do feel, you know, with the clover and the cross there as well, there is a bit of a spiritual pointer as well, that, you know, destiny is trying to, you know, it's kind of got you in its sights, and that luck that you've got around you at the moment, you know, it's going to be exacerbated by spiritual signs. Okay, is what's coming through here, Cancer. So I'm even thinking the cross itself, right? That, you know, I'm even seeing here someone, you know, someone finding like a gold cross on the side of the road, kind of thing, and you know, you just go, oh well, I'll take it to the pawnbrokers and see, take it to the jewelers and just see, and it turns out it's worth like hundreds of dollars. And all of a sudden you've got hundreds of dollars from just this random lucky find on the side of the road. So some of you may actually find your luck increases when you're around spiritual places, or you may get, you know, a lot of intuition guiding you, that sort of thing. You may even see like your eye be drawn to a cross symbol somewhere or other, and then that's when the luck is sort of the strongest. So make sure we're paying attention to those signs, especially things cross related or religious related. All right, crucifixes, but also just general religious stuff. All right, so it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a cross. It could be like a Star of David or something like that, you know, that you recognize as a religious symbology. Those sorts of things actually just sort of, it's kind of like the universe kind of saying, look, bang, here's the flashing light telling you your luck is really high right now. So be observant, and you know, to what you're doing with, and taking chances, and that your luck is really good right then and there, sort of thing. Okay, Cancer. So that's what I'm seeing for you. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Leos. Okay, Leo, what's going on for Leo with money and career? Money and career for Leo, please. One of my besties, Leo, has just started a brand new business. Oh, there you go. Star power, Leo. Definitely you, right? You are the star of the show, Leo. whether you want to be or not, all right? Become an influencer of the company and earn fame and popularity. Step into the spotlight. All right, so there's something more that you can be doing here, Leo, that you can actually help bring recognition and more popularity, more sort of fame in some kind of way to your company, to your business, to your career line, whatever that means to you. All right, so I'm just kind of getting like some of you may even be producing, some sort of viral video, those sorts of things. You may be sort of coming up with an idea that really shoots you into stardom within your genre of career. All right, so something along those lines here, making yourself stand out above the rest in some kind of a way that, you're kind of like, we're the leader of the pack. I'm the star of the show. So, this is where you want to be with me. For some reason it's coming through like that specifically. Leo, money and career for our Leos. Money and career for Leo. Yes, so many opportunities here. We have the key coming through first. Interestingly enough, we do also have the house here as well. So as you can imagine, those two do often pair very well with the key and the house. It's like unlocking the house of your dreams kind of thing here. Some of you may definitely be moving into a brand new home. You may be sort of moving, have an opportunity to, move into a new home, or, literally like, it's kind of like it's giving finding a secret room in your home or something like that. You're unlocking something around the home that was locked previously. So it does have a very visceral reality kind of feeling here too, with both of those cards together. But opportunities. The key really does open up doors of opportunities that lead you to a lot of success, a lot of stability. All right, we like this: stability, security, financial stability and security. All right, secure opportunities, and opportunities that are successful and reliable, long term kind of thing here with the house. There's no budging those from being yours kind of thing. New ideas, very important. We have the stork here as well. Okay, so that does sort of let us know that embracing new ideas and stirring up, it's kind of like cooking up a storm and stirring up and chucking everything into the pot and seeing what cooks the best kind of thing. Is a weird analogy there, but it's idea generation and coming up with new perspectives and new ways of looking at the situation, new ways of looking at your business. Once again, that maybe is what's making this business, this company a star, making you a star, Leo, is that you've got this unique idea that nobody else has got. You've got a new perspective on looking at the whole thing, and that's sort of what really thrusts you into the limelight for your genre here, or your niche, whatever that means for you. Okay, more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel. We're going to move on over to our Virgos. Okay, Virgo. Career and money for Virgo. What does Virgo need to know in regards to career and money? Money. Money's feeling like a question for you, Virgo. What's that about? We have helping hand. Need others to assist with services. Increased productivity. No one can handle it all. So you may be needing to reach out and ask for help, Virgo. I do feel for a lot of you this, it does feel like money rather than career. Needing to quite literally, please, sir, may I have some more? Reach out your hand and let your boss know, look, I'm really struggling. Can we talk about that raise? Let your friends know, look, I'm really struggling. Can you lend me some money? Not being afraid to ask people for help. And with this here, it says to assist with services, increased productivity. So I do feel for a lot of you, you're able to offer services in return for that help. You're able to offer productivity in return for the help. So don't think that you're asking for something from nothing. I feel as though this is like equal give and take here, Virgo, that you maybe deserve this helping hand, and you've maybe done so much by yourself already that it's kind of due for you to get a bit of help along the way. I do feel there is someone specifically here, Virgo, where it's kind of like you're needing to go and talk to your boss about the fact that, look, you need to hire more staff. There is not enough staff. We cannot do enough. We cannot do all this by ourselves. You need to hire more staff. All right. So I do feel as though that's a very specific message for someone there. Virgo, money and career for our Virgos. It's also, especially with money, asking for help in regards to, asking to speak to a financial advisor, those sorts of things, tax accountant, whatever. Focusing on what makes you happy. We have the sun coming through first. There are some things that need to be revealed here, though, and it's really got to do with what makes you happy in your workplace, or when it comes to what level of money would actually be a happy medium for you here, because we do see the child coming through next, which is very looking at life with wonder and enjoying life and moving forward, and knowing that things have a long way to grow, a long way to go. You're only a child here, a babe in the woods, so to speak here, Virgo, and that, maybe I need help. Maybe I need help. A child can't grow all by themselves. They need adults to, show them how to grow, or, grow healthily anyway, right? They need adult help, but this is like, there's something coming to light here about your spark for adventure, your spark for enjoyment in life. And I feel like for a lot of you, you get a lot of that from your, what you're doing for work, and your feelings of, recognition and success, and, earning seems to be something that you actually enjoy here, Virgo, that you're like, you enjoy feeling like a useful member of society, or a useful member of the company, or whatever that means in your situation here. You enjoy being a part of the world, okay? And that you are going to keep moving forward here. It's kind of like, look, we have the rider there as well. So this is kind of like you going forwards and going, look, I'm seeing that I am a valuable member of this team, and I'm coming forwards, asking, look, I might need a little bit of extra help, but I want to grow, and I want to be happy in my job, and I want to enjoy this, and so that I can be the best I can be for you, for you company, big corporation, or whatever, I'm here to do what I can do to be the best at this, and I enjoy this, and I want to keep enjoying this. So, I'm asking for you to help me do my job, and help me do my job better, or whatever that means for you personally here, Virgo. So a little bit of it feels like a bit of a niche message there, not going to lie, but that's what I've got for you, Virgo. You're more than I'm also getting something about produce here. I don't know what that message is, but something about produce was coming up there, Virgo. But that's what we have for you. You're more than welcome to check those other placements, of course. Subscribe. We'll move on over to Libra. Okay, Libra. What does Libra need to know in regards to career and money? Career and money messages for our Libra. Oh, Libra, it's been hard on you lately, has it? Expression. Open up your heart and connect with others. Express your creative self. Okay, so this is embracing teamwork a little bit more here, Libra. Not being afraid to express yourself when it comes to the ideas that you have to I'm getting improvise upon procedures and things in the workplace that you are like, oh, I've got this idea that maybe we could do this way instead. It would be so much better, easier, whatever, more productive, that kind of stuff. Don't be afraid to express that. Because you are more creative and you've got better ideas than you give yourself credit for, and you can expand, and this actually helps you connect with others in the workplace as well, because you're kind of like, I've got this weird idea. What do you think about this? Do you think this would work? And just in that connection of reaching out to somebody and expressing to them your ideas, it really helps you, connect. And then you guys start sort of bouncing off one another, and working together as a team just a little bit more, like with more strength. Even if you're not in a teamwork kind of a job, it's kind of like there's just something here about faux teamwork, like that. Even though you're having to do all your individual work, having that sense of camaraderie and teamwork around you, that we're all working together rather than individually. We're all working towards the same ultimate goals of doing the best or whatever that is. It actually just really helps push you forwards when it comes to work. All right. And especially too, financially, opening your heart and connecting with others, expressing your creative ideas when it comes to how we use our finances, or what we should do with our finances, or what we need to facilitate with our finances, that sort of stuff. Libra, what does Libra need to know in regards to money and career? Money and career for Libra. This is very, very interesting energy here. We do see the feminine coming through first here, Libra. Followed by the coffin, all right? This is very interesting because the coffin does talk about an ending that, instigates a new beginning, like a death that brings about a rebirth. So something coming to an end here to do with it feels more so like an actual person, to be honest. The end of, so it does feel more like a real, like an actual person. So, but it feels like this is something that, do you know what this is, Libra? This feels like, because the next card I have here is the mice, which talks about the past. That talks about something that has been lost. All right, something that's been taken from us, something that was stolen, kind of thing. So it's kind of giving me this energy of, there was a woman that left the job. There was a woman that, was headhunted by another firm, or stolen by another firm, or something along those lines. It feels like that person's coming back. That actually feels like, this has ended, but now we're seeing a rebirth into the past thing that's been lost. So it's kind of like this woman that maybe left the job like a while ago, and now they're coming back. That's kind of what it feels like. So maybe that's part of what your expression is about here. Okay, Libra, is like maybe you're saying to your boss, oh, well, you remember so and so that used to work here? I heard that they're free again. Maybe we should ask them if they want to come back and take up a different position in the workplace, because they were really good, but they left the company because they were doing their own, whatever that is. It does feel like the past coming back around again. The past is the rebirth. So this is quite interesting because the past is the thing that's being reborn here. So it feels like a reconnection with a woman, from the past when it comes to money or finances or career. It feels more to do with finances. So maybe this was someone who was like in charge of pays or something like that. If this is a career thing, they may have been, someone who was in charge of the financial side of things, or, somehow, because they do feel very connected to money, regardless of whether this is career or not. Some of you may work in a bank. I'm picking that up as well. With the coffin and mice there, some of you may sort of work in some sort of industry related to funeral industry, for example. And I'm getting bank still because, theft and loss. Maybe that was what their position was. Something to do with, what's the word for it? Loss prevention, or, something along those lines. It could be something along those lines for some of you here. But I feel like you're actually connected to this, that you're opening up your heart and connecting with others So maybe this is someone that you are reconnecting with, for some of you, or you're having the idea to reconnect with this person. Let's just see what they're up to, because they would be perfect for that position, and they would be a perfect team member to work with, or I really miss working with that person, or things like that, or that they were really good at the job. Those sorts of things coming through there, Libra. Okay, so that's what we have for you. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel. We'll move over to Scorpio. Scorpio, what does Scorpio need to know in regards to career and money? Career and money messages for Scorpio. Bright ideas. Rainbows. Something about the rainbow. There might be something to do with actual like rainbow imagery or something along those lines. But I'm also getting like the LGBTQ community might be part of the idea that you're expanding into. Something to do with that. Have an innovative new inspiration. Test new ideas and break out fast. Take action on your ideas. So you, like, I'm kind of getting someone in marketing here, and there might be like some sort of expansion into LGBTQ arenas or something along those lines. If that's you, Scorpio, please don't do it in the way that some of these companies are doing it, where it's so stereotypical and kind of annoying, where it's very obvious that certain companies are doing that just for a quick buck. Ridiculous, right? Like Pride Week and everything, everyone, it seems like every single clothes store all of a sudden has all these, rainbow things that are all just very stock and generic. So get your idea, unique ideas, innovative ideas, okay? We're not looking for stock, bland, repeatable. We're looking for innovative, okay? That's the word of the day. Word of the week for you, Scorpio: innovative, inspirational, all right? And breaking out fast. So doing it, fast as possible, sort of thing. Scorpio, money and career for our Scorpios. It may not even be LGBTQ. It's rainbows is coming up here. The bright ideas. For some reason, it just keeps over and over here telling me rainbows. So, we do see the rider coming through first. Good news on the way. This is so weird because we have the cross and then the tower. Okay, so these cards can, because I read intuitively, these cards can talk about a lot of different things. So there's definitely a structured destiny at play here for you, and it's like moving very, very quickly towards this structured destiny, the spiritual foundation within you. But it's also, there's something here about a church. Okay, the tower quite often can be actual, regimented places like libraries and churches and governmental buildings. This is a church. There's something about a church here. I don't know what that is about a church, but I'm clearly getting church, like religious organization. So maybe that somehow is linking up with that LGBTQ stuff as well. Taking action on your ideas here. Have an innovative new inspiration. Test new ideas. And break out fast. Here's that rider breaking you out fast. Good news. Here's this new spiritual church, spiritual foundation. So, because it's very interesting because it's got something to do as well with the burden of tradition. And I keep getting this breaking out fast, break free, you know, jumping in, taking action. So maybe there's something here about releasing the burdens of tradition, something along those lines. This is obviously very specific and niche to, you know, because like I said, this is the Bright Ideas card, and it's not my idea, it's your idea, Scorpio. So something I'm saying might instigate you sort of thinking along the right lines that work for you and your finances and your career. There might be something I'm saying here that sort of it all just sort of clicks, and that's the new idea. But it's your idea. It's not my idea, so it's not making sense to me. I feel like for some of you, this is something like that the world has not experienced before. This is a brand new tradition. This is a brand new tradition, just, you know, unique to you, that you're creating here, that your idea is something brand new. It's a brand new tradition, a brand new structure in the world. Like I said, it's not telling me anything else about that. It's your idea, it's not mine. It just keeps telling me that it's Scorpio's bright idea. Okay, Scorpio has the idea, not me. So go forth and invent rainbows, Scorpio. That's what we have for you. You're more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to Sagittarius. Just going to take a quick drink break. Okay, moving on to Sagittarius. Sagittarius, what does Sagittarius need to know about money and career? What's going on for Sagittarius with money and career? Independence coming through for you firstly here, Sagittarius. Don't depend on others. Manage money yourself. Independence guarantees security. All right, so this is definitely needing to take matters into your own hands in some kind of a way here. For a lot of you, that does sound like, you know, financially speaking, but, you know, it could also be in regard to your workplace as well, and taking independence when it comes to making sure you're doing your job and not relying on others to do certain things for you within the job, because, you know, it's kind of like if you want something done right, do it yourself is what's sort of coming through there with the work stuff. But we'll have a look with the lenormand as well. Money and career for Sagittarius. Money and career for Sagittarius. Yeah, definitely checking the books yourself and taking a bit more control over that. We have the book coming through first. Make sure we're you know, reading over the guidelines and the procedures, and we're definitely making sure we're following the book kind of thing. We're doing things the right way. So you don't want the book thrown at you kind of thing is coming through here. For some of you needing to go over the books, like the actual finance, like do a bit of a financial audit yourself. Once again, you doing things yourself needs to be paramount at the moment when it comes to your money and your career. You know, we do see goals being met here. This is the stars card. Okay. So we do see goals being met here, wishes being fulfilled, those sorts of things, having optimism and hope. But we also have the masculine. So once again, needing to take control of that, needing to take control of, you know, researching how to achieve your goals, and, you know, learning how, you know, the procedure to achieve those goals, and all that sort of stuff. With the masculine there, you're taking a very logical, analytical approach, and you're taking charge. You're domineering that. You're taking the power over that. So definitely very independent kind of energy. The masculine doesn't need to rely on others to make sure, you know, the masculine's in control and in charge. Definitely the boss energy of that reading for you, Sagittarius. But that's what we are seeing for you. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Capricorns. Okay, Capricorn. Capricorn, what's going on for Capricorn with money and career? Money and career messages for Capricorn. Oh, shedding. We love this, Capricorn. Very, very in line with where we are, in the astrological forces right now. Okay, we're shedding that skin. That snake skin is being shed from the year of the snake. So this is obviously talking about, this year of the snake moving into the year of the horse energy. This is going to be very strong for you, Capricorn, with your career and finances. The impact of this is strong for you with that. I have been picking up on that just, anyway. For you, you are one of the signs that are moving into a much sort of, this is the end of an era and the start of a new one for you, Capricorn, for sure, moving into a much more secure place within yourself and your future. That this year of the horse really is going to bring a lot of positive change for you, Capricorn. Reducing losses, elimination, and completing a new metamorphosis. Time to set higher goals. All right, so you may be sort of starting to, get rid of those things that are just no longer working for you when it comes to your money, your career, shedding the final bit of that skin, Capricorn. For a lot of you, we may actually see a lot of that tied up with this Chinese New Year as well. So the 17th of February may be very significant to you when it comes to career changes, financial changes, the final shedding occurring before then, and then from the 17th onward seeing, those higher goals being set for yourself. It's time to really, start thinking about what they're going to be for you. And once I get rid of all this, energy that's not working for me, this crap, basically, once I get rid of all the old, what does the new start to look like for myself here? So we're completing that metamorphosis. I do feel as though for a lot of you that's very tied into the 17th of February. All right, so we're looking at like only a week away now, roughly, right? So we're headed toward it quicker than you think. I know there's been a lot of talk about this big change, but that's because it is actually going to be a big dynamic shift, not just for you, Capricorn, but for a lot of people. So in different ways, but for you, it's obviously going to be very connected to career and money. Capricorn, money and career for Capricorn, please. I also want to say reducing losses, elimination, and completing. So completing cycles and eliminating people from your life may be important for you to in the process of all this as well, Capricorn. All right, because we do see firstly here the feminine and the ring. Okay, so there may be a connection or a cycle that you've been enduring, like a bit of a stuck in a loop kind of thing with feminine energy, regardless of their gender. I do feel as though this may be related to a person around your energy here, Capricorn, that it's time to bring that cycle to a close and start a brand new cycle, especially when it comes to, money goals, career goals. All right, that you're making better choices for yourself. We have the crossroad here as well. So we do see some big choices coming up in career and money for you. And it's all about, the contracts, the commitments that you're making to people, am I going to slave away for somebody else for my whole life, or am I going to set a higher goal for myself that I want to be my own boss kind of thing? For some of you, that may be a big choice coming up. But we also see, the contracts that you have sort of signed on to, and it's time for those to sort of be renewed or removed. Okay, we're shedding. Once again, we're shedding, and we need to eliminate certain things here and complete those cycles. So we definitely see that for a lot of you, there's a cycle here with a feminine energy. For some of you, this actually may have to do with, because I am picking up this message here, Capricorn, that for some of you, this has got something to do with, a cycle that has been instigated by your mother. All right. And it may not, even if you don't speak to your mother or anything like that, there may be some, some sort of cycle that has, become a cycle or a pattern in your life from, your mother's patterns or, your mother's influence upon you, or, for some of you, it may even be, your actual mother's influence on your life and that sort of stuff. It could be a grandmother or, you know, a female family member as well, a strong female matriarchal type energy coming through here. So it may not even be a family member. It could just be, you know, somebody that you look up to or have looked up to as a mentor. And it's time to sort of break that cycle. It's kind of holding you back at this point, Capricorn. It's kind of like, you know, the teacher has become the student, and you being the teacher, like you being the student here, you've now outgrown your teachers, and it's time for you to start a new cycle and renew those contracts in a way where we're recognizing that cycle of me being, you know, the weak student, or the, you know, the one that still has so much to learn. That may not be the case anymore, and it's time to choose a different path here and make different choices, make better choices about the relationships that you have in your life, just in general, especially as the ones that are affecting you financially or, you know, career-wise, where we're really shedding that skin, getting rid of it. If it's not working for us in our favor, we don't need it, Capricorn. All right. So really, really, really kind of invigorating yourself with this Chinese New Year energy, really using it as a big turning point for yourself in your career, in your money cycles. And for some of you, I kind of feel too that the need to, you know, learn a little bit more about what this actually means for you. Like I'm seeing you like sitting there researching what's the Chinese New Year and what's that all about. There's some sort of learning that you're maybe wanting to undertake to understand this a little bit more, and what sort of things you can do to sort of help instigate the process a little bit further for yourself. Okay, so that's what we have for you. More than welcome to check your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to Aquarius. Aquarius, career and money messages for Aquarius. What does Aquarius need to know in regards to career and money? Savings. We see the happy little piggy. You always need to put something away for a bad day. Create savings for the future. All right. And this, it doesn't even need to be like, it's not so much about the actual money that you're putting away, Aquarius. All right. Because I know that not everybody's in the financial situation where they can, you know, have a savings account as such. This is like, you know, every time you get small change, you're putting that in a money jar instead of, you know, putting it in the car and gathering it up and using it to buy, you know, your next coffee or whatever. Instead of doing that, putting it in a money jar. And then once that money jar is full, you'd be surprised how much money actually adds up. All right. But it's about the way that you're thinking of money, that you're thinking about saving for the future rather than spend. Okay. Like you're kind of just flipping your perception just a little bit about like, what can I be doing in order to, you know, buy things for my future? If I'm spending money, I need to think about, how is this going to work in the future for me? Is this going to be a quality item that's going to last the test of time and, you know, do me well in multiple purposes? Or should I maybe spend the extra $5 and buy that other item that's actually got multi-purpose and is going to be much more useful to me in the long run? You know, so just the way that you're thinking about things and saving for your future. Like sometimes, you know, buying quality, spending a little bit more on buying quality is actually an investment, because you're not having to then 2 months down the track buy that same item all over again, because you've bought the quality item and it lasts, you know, 2 years instead of 2 months. Aquarius, what does Aquarius need to know in regards to money and career? Money and career. I'm also getting savings in the career sense in this coming through here, about like that you're racking up favors kind of thing, that you're doing, you know, putting savings away in that sense, like where you're doing things for other people in the workplace, so you know that when you ask them for a favor, they're going to be willing and able to do that for you, that sort of stuff. Like you can rack up savings in more areas than just money. All right, you can rack up savings. Okay, so that seems important to mention. We do see the tree. Okay, so we're being a little bit more mature. We're thinking about, our future health as well. So for some of you, it may actually be paying off to, put off some money for a bad day. Like, what happens if I break my foot and I need to, I know here in Australia that it's not a concern as such because we have healthcare. Sorry to all my American followers. But, universal healthcare is a right. America's a little bit behind when it comes to healthcare, not going to lie. And I know a lot of Americans are saying that too. But what happens if you break your leg? Do you have $20,000 to pay for the hospital trip? Probably not. So, maybe it's worth spending a few dollars a week to put into a health fund and those sorts of things, because the tree does talk about your health. Because we do also see here the mountain, all right, followed by the masculine. So we're needing to take a little bit more control about, potential obstacles and blockages and delays in our path. What are we going to do if we have some health delays? What are we going to do if we have a health obstacle pop up out of nowhere? All right. We need to be taking better care of ourselves to avoid those obstacles, yes. Especially mental health obstacles seems to be coming through here as well. But you need to create those savings for the future so that when you do have those bad days that you've racked up enough, positive energy with your co-workers that someone will cover your shift. If that's what you're saving towards, do you know what I mean? Those sorts of things are relevant here because, if everyone in the office hates you, no one's going to cover your shift. All right. So, whereas if you've done you've saved up some little favors, you're covered when something goes wrong. All right. And you might need to fall back on that if you've had some sudden obstacle like, oh, look, my car's broken down. Can you just log me in and so I don't get docked for the day or whatever? So sort of things like that popping up here, Aquarius, that you do need to sort of, like, it does seem like savings that aren't money, to be honest. For a lot of you, it's not necessarily money savings that we're making. All right. It's saving for our future in every way possible, not just money. All right. I don't know why that feels so important, but it does, okay? But that's what we're seeing for you, Aquarius. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to Pisces. Okay, Pisces, what does Pisces need to know in regard to money and career? Money and career messages for Pisces. Fruits of your labor. I really like this for you, Pisces. I've got a few close Pisces friends that I love to see them getting their bag, their worth come through. And that's kind of what this is for you. This is, the rich gain is, literally ready to be plucked from this tree for you, Pisces. It's time to reap the fruit of your labor and become rich. All right. So I feel like actually, rather than actual monetary value for a lot of you, this is becoming rich in your career and your I'm hearing the words attainments and achievements and like recognition, like the fruits of your labor is the fact that people are seeing how much hard work you're putting in. People are seeing, how capable you are, and that you underestimate yourself a lot, Pisces. And I feel like this is like, once again, the fruit ready to be plucked from the tree. And it's like, you might not even realize how much those fruits glow until you have them in your hand and how rich you feel, when you have those. It's something here about like realizing that you've got more skills and you're deserving of recognition of those skills more than what you give yourself. And this is like a rich gain to you. Maybe the gain is just becoming aware of this. Okay, Pisces, money and career for our Pisces. Money and career for Pisces. Yeah, the stork coming through first. So new ideas and new perspectives on what rich gain coming into your life actually is. And once again, it may not be money, may not be monetary value that is richness in your life here and in your career. All right, even in your financials. Sometimes richness, it's not a specific dollar figure. It's the difference between having to buy all the cheapest that you can possibly get, or having to go without, then not having to even check your bank balance when you go to the grocery store, being able to buy that brand name thing that you haven't been able to buy before. All of a sudden I can buy a brand name instead of having to buy the cheapest versions. The no-name brands. Sometimes that's what rich gain looks like in your life. It's a slow burn sometimes, Pisces, and you all of a sudden you feel rich. I mentioned this to one of the other signs. I can't remember which sign it was, but like the epitome of rich when I was younger. It's like a meme that gets around as well. But the epitome of rich when we always thought that this was the signs of being rich, and it was the Viennetta ice creams, right? Those ice creams, the block of ice cream that was a little wavy ice cream with the chocolate layers and whatnot, and that was like if you saw a family having that ice cream for dessert, you were like, oh, they must be rich, because it was like worlds beyond the 40 pack of cheap ice blocks that your family could afford to buy. So it's like new perspectives and new ideas on what the fruits of your labor are actually giving to you here, Pisces, and what this actually looks like for you to become rich, to feel satiated. And is that how you say that? Satiated? Satiated. I'm going to go with that. To feel as though you're doing a good job, your skills are recognizable and whatnot, that you have rich gain in your life, that you have, leveled up in some kind of way, even if it's only the smallest things like, oh, all of a sudden I'm buying Viennetta ice cream and I'm not even worried about the money of it, like little things. But it's just new ideas, new perspectives on what that means for you personally. Things sort of stirring up and moving in a new direction in those areas for you. Moving into a place that's much more reliable, all right? We have the anchor here. So it's kind of like knowing that if a storm hits, that you can survive it, that you can depend on your financials. You can depend on your career, that even if a storm hits tomorrow, that you know that I'm all right. I'm here safe with my anchor. I'm held in place. I'm not going to be fired tomorrow. I'm stable. I'm steady. And then we do see the crossroads coming through as well. All right. So there may actually be some very interesting choices coming up for you in your career as well. That does feel a little bit different for you, Pisces, here. Like that, it's kind of like once you realize that you get this new perspective on what makes you feel steady and what's reliable to you when it comes to your sense of richness and all the hard work you've done in this world. You may actually then start finding that new options become available to you. New skills are then opening up to you, and you can choose to take on new things that you maybe never would have considered before because you didn't feel capable. So I do feel for a lot of you, this is a new perspective, a new idea on, the labor that you are capable and have put in. So a little bit of self-recognition coming through here for you as well, Pisces. But definitely, becoming rich in some kind of way definitely opens up new pathways that new choices that you can make with your career and financials. All right. So that's what we're seeing for you. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all again soon.